welcome to today's video. So today we have another bonus video in the Zeus series. If you have not seen any of the other Zeus videos I've done, be sure to go to the entertainment playlist that I have, and if you scroll through there, you'll see that I have a couple of Zeus Network readings that I'm doing. So it'll be a series essentially. So be sure to check out the other videos that I've already done. But the focus of today's video is going to be on Natalie Nunn versus Scotty, and this came as a shocker. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to tap into it. As of today, at the time of the reading today is February 21st, Saturday. They have some beef. There's a lot of things going on. I did see that they pretty much have had some issues over the years. I do watch the show, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I have seen the way that Natalie does treat Scotty, and it's pretty unfortunate that they've went from being friends to the point of today. Scotty just had her baby shower, and I did see that Natalie had made comments comparing her baby shower to her funeral, which was pretty disgusting. I've seen a lot of back and forth and taking shots at one another. So I did want to just tap into their energy and see what's going on between the both of them and see if maybe we can get a better idea of what's the real issue between the two, because it feels like this has been brewing for a long time, and even more so now that Scotty does speak up for herself even more. So that said, everything said in today's reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. So first things first, Natalie is a Capricorn and Scotty is an Aquarius, so y'all know that up front. But let's see what's going on between the two. To kick the reading off, I'm going to just see what the energy is between them, but I'm going to start with the past and then I'll ask about the present. All right, current energy between Natalie and Scotty, past position, energy between Natalie and Scotty. We have always partying, and then we have same shit, different day. Ooh, y'all. I think this reading is going to be quick. As soon as I pulled always partying, Spirit said, and also, can I say this on YouTube? If I get flagged, I'm just going to have to edit the video at a later date and probably re-upload it. Spirit said, and escorting, allegedly. All right, one more card for the past position. Crying over you, watching your post, pretending they're fine, same shit, different day. So it feels like in the past for the both of them, they were always partying and partaking in certain activities as well. And it feels like they did a lot of that in the past. Obviously not lately because she's pregnant or Scotty's pregnant, but it was something that they did all the time, hanging out together. I see traveling as well. If you guys remember the reading I did on Lemuel and Scotty, I'm going to link it up top. So if you want to go check that out right now to kind of go back and forth. But if you recall in that reading, I did say once we got to the tarot, and I think she had 10 of swords, and I did get the download of her feeling like that Lemuel allegedly misled her to do certain activities that she didn't agree with. The pretending they're fine card is directing me to that video. So it feels like Natalie did kind of the same thing where she had Scotty with her doing certain things. Maybe she didn't tell her the full truth about what she needed her to do in the past. Remember, this is the past position. So this is like going back to like Maddie South or whenever they started kicking it with one another. But Scotty was not okay even then. I feel like she did things that she didn't even want to do. I heard tired, so maybe there were times when she was tired, but Natalie was like, get off your ass, you're gonna come with me and make this money, allegedly. As we know, Scotty was not standing up for herself, setting boundaries, and yeah, it was just something they always did. They always partied, whatever that entailed. But I just feel it's her fatigue. So it was just something that she just felt peer pressure to continue to do. Moving past that, what's the present position of their energy? What is the current energy between them right now as of February 21st? 2026. What is the current energy between them? I just heard for the messy storyteller, I was getting like going live on IG, so they could be both going back and forth because I've seen clips, but when they try to tell their side of the story or how they feel, it's all over the place. And there might be some truth mixed in with some lies, allegedly, both of them. Dirt digging, snooping for secrets, trying to expose you. But like I said, going live, y'all, like cards that speak for themselves. If you know, you know. Right, one more card for present position of the two. Caught a case, sexual infection, sexual disease, rash. Reminded me that there were some OnlyFans videos floating around between the both of them performing lewd acts allegedly on one another. And I just thought about that as soon as that card came out. So there could be something alleged about that, but I'm not going to speak on their health because I do not know. I'm not aware of any of that. I just say that up front. Let's see, dirt digging. Yeah, trying to expose you. They're both trying to expose one another about how things went wrong. And I'm still getting that. It's not 100% true. And I feel like if we were to get the full truth of what really went down between the two of them, past and present, y'all, I heard law enforcement. And again, I'm just going back to the reading that I did on part 1 and part 2. I didn't feel that the justice system was on the network as a whole, but depending on how they go about things in the public eye, as it relates to them trying to expose one another and these secrets, it could put them on the radar of authorities. So we'll see what the future prediction is for both of them, but this to me does not come as any surprise at all. We see how they're trying to get one up on each other even now. All right, guys, sorry, I had to fix the camera. I'm gonna move these cards off the table and I want to see how they view one another with the oracle cards. First, we'll start with Natalie's energy. How does Natalie view Scotty currently? What is her perception of Scotty at this current moment? What is Natalie's perception of Scotty at this current moment? We have haunted memories, flashbacks, trauma, side effects. What else? We have wasting time, and then we have thief, grudge holder, surprise, surprise. As I'm looking at the haunted, spirit is showing me a hotel room. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here, but yeah, I'm seeing a hotel room. Just like Natalie was viewing Scotty as property, because I heard property, like I wouldn't say like physical property, but almost like you need my permission to do whatever it is you do because I'm a CEO. That's what it feels like. She felt like she had some power over her. In that regard, it's almost giving like I'm the boss of you. It's interesting. It just feels very employee boss type of energy, y'all. Like Spirit said, madam, allegedly. That's what it's giving to me, y'all. Like it just gives me she's looking at her as property. Like you wasted my time. I helped you get to where you are today. The thief card is interesting because it's not so much that she views Scotty as a thief, but maybe that I just heard you stole my spot. And I don't know that I've seen rumors of Natalie and Lemuel having any type of like relationship outside of business. I don't know that. Obviously, the public does not know that or can confirm. But it's almost giving me that she not want Scotty to be at a certain level, just like even just above her, because that's just her first lady. So yeah, and you guys know that should anything happen, the CEO is going to pick his mother of his child over his business partner. I can't see him picking Natalie over her. I just can't. But it's like you stole my spot and my shine. Back to the grudge holder, y'all. She is not happy. I just heard mad and anger. That's very interesting because if y'all were truly friends, you'll be happy that she's pregnant and be fully supporting her. But again, like I'm just seeing, it just gives me more of like jealousy. I'm supposed to be the boss, employee type of energy, but now Scotty, her position has changed. She may still go on baddies, but it's never going to be the same now that she has a child of the CEO, which is not. And I'm interested to see if Scotty even decides to go back on baddies after she has this baby. I suspect that she won't, but we'll see. But if she did, I don't think it would be good for her. I would actually say she need to stay away from Natalie. She really need to stay away from a lot of them. And I don't know if this video is going to go up first before I do I already did the Janisa John reading and I'm going to upload that. So I don't know which one's going to go up first. So if you're watching this, the video may already be up. And if it is up, I'll put it up in the corner. If not, it's coming. Don't worry. But in that reading, I was just getting there's some evil eye on Scotty right now, y'all. Like it's coming from multiple directions, allegedly. So, and I'm going to just say the women that have this beef with her while she's pregnant, y'all need to be very careful treating interfering, anything dealing with a pregnant woman, y'all need to be very careful. And Spirit told me that for Janisha's reading, so I'm just gonna say that now. Natalie ain't feeling it at all. Okay, so I'm gonna pull one more card or see what else Spirit has to say about how she's viewing Scotty, and then we'll go on to Scotty's side. All right, same shit, different day. Same card that came up a minute ago for their past energy. I don't know why I keep seeing hotel room for Natalie. Look, talking shit, gossiping behind your back, spreading lies, smiling in your face. Allegedly, it feels like Natalie did not really like her like that at all, even in the beginning. That is her frenemy. And then I'm also seeing when her and Scotty fought on, was it Baddies Caribbean? And even then, Scotty was like, I'm tired of this drama because she's always picking on her. So yeah, it's like it feels like she never really liked her from the start. It just feels like she saw her as an employee the whole entire time. I don't even think it just does not feel like how a true friend would feel about another friend. And she's been talking shit about Scotty, allegedly. If y'all watch Baddies and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's always felt like that even to me. The cards are just confirming it and some other things as well. But yeah, it just feels like she used her and I'm just keeping you close. But it was not supposed to like go this way, it feels like also. Like Natalie did not think that she was gonna get pregnant by the CEO. I don't think that she suspected that would ever happen, ever. All right, you guys, the camera keeps turning for some reason, so hopefully it looks okay. All right, so now I'm going to move on to Scotty's energy and move this over. Natalie's side is over here, so I'm going to do Scotty's on the right. All right, how does Scotty perceive Natalie? What is Scotty's perception of Natalie currently? X flexing, X rich, X fancy, shows off. I'm sorry, I'm not like, it's funny to me because it's almost like Scotty sees the flexing that Natalie be doing on the internet because I just heard like my man got more money than you. She got the bag. She got the real bag. I feel like that's also another reason why Natalie real mad because Scotty don't even have to work. Like her baby daddy is literally the CEO of this entire network. So and it just feels like she knows of what Natalie's money really looks like behind closed doors or behind the scenes. Like she knows the truth about all of that. Her buying purses, spending money, like she knows all of that. I don't know why just her credit cards too. So maybe even credit, like spending money on credit cards as well. So yeah, I feel like Scotty knows a lot about Natalie. That ooh, I feel like she could really air a lot of stuff out about her allegedly. All right, how does then we have dirt digging, trying to expose you. Tables might turn. Look at the bottom, wolf in sheep's clothing. That's how she's viewing Natalie, y'all. So she knows that Natalie has knows some secrets as well. I mean, I feel like they both did dirt together. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But she knows it feels like she feels that Natalie will try to expose her, will try to sell her out. I just heard. I'm also getting that Scotty's also coming to the realization that if you are not cool with Natalie, she's going to try to expose you. She's going to literally lift the veil off of you to the public because the tables have turned. And I just heard she's a friend to no one. There we go. That's what I heard. And she's starting to really feel and see that. Like I heard, like I try to repair the friendship, but she's a friend to no one, like a true friend to no one. She only cares about the money, allegedly, because she is a wolf in sheep's clothing. She may act like she's your friend, but she's a businesswoman first. All right, what else? How else does she view Natalie? All right, we have ignoring, left on red, giving the silent treatment, and then we have bad habits at the bottom. Even now, with everything that's going on between the two, I feel like Scotty has tried to reach out to Natalie to try to talk about this stuff because I'm also seeing when Baddies how Scotty tries to have sit down conversations with her and talk it out with her, but Natalie just walks away. Even on the TV show, she just walks away. She just talks, just what she says, goes off. They argue for like maybe 2 minutes, and then Natalie just acts like she's above it all, and then she leaves. But it's almost like she just doesn't want her feet held to the fire by Scotty. I feel like they could have a very civil conversation and like dead the whole entire situation, but instead of talking to who was supposedly her friend, and Scotty's out here reaching out, Natalie just goes the other direction and just talks shit on Instagram, allegedly. Like, and then talking shit card right there. Like, that's what she does. That is what she does. And yeah, because I just feel like she has tried to contact her. I just heard sensitive. Scott is pregnant, so right now she's at a very sensitive time. And I feel like she's trying to get a lot of this stuff off of the internet. It doesn't feel like she wants to continue to go on like this. I know she's like been subbing Janisha and some other stuff going on with the other baddies and this, that, and the third. But as far as Natalie goes, it just feels like she cherished their relationship a little bit more than the other ladies, it feels like. So yeah, it probably did hurt her feelings a little bit when she tried to talk it out with Natalie, and then she's not getting callbacks or text messages being replied to, and she sees Natalie on the internet running it. So all right, enough of that. So now I want to know what's the real problem. The spirit can confirm that for us. What is the real problem in the friendship? Like what really went wrong? What can spirit reveal about that? What is the real problem? Didn't she move to North Carolina officially? But Scotty, I remember she mentioned that she wants to raise her baby with her family. And then we have ego. I'm gonna move these up. And then I'm gonna put one more for the real problem between them. Oh, a couple cards. And then we have dirty offer, and then we have marrying for money. So I'll say this. The real problem to me is because I'm looking at the moving card, I'm getting, of course, Scotty moving, but I'm also getting like her moving forward in her relationship with Lemuel, it feels like. Because I heard moving up. So moving up the ranks, moving up in money. And then we have ego here, her ego, which to me makes sense. I mean, it's more so probably for Natalie's energy, it feels like. Her ego is hurt. Like I said, how your employee is on a whole different level than you. I guess as a boss that could hurt you, depending on how you're looking at it. That's a big hit to your ego when your boss, when your employee goes, at least what it feels like, above you now that she's going to be like a first lady in a sense. It feels like Scotty's now really going to be like untouchable when it comes to Natalie, allegedly. Sarah said she likes her ego stroked, and then I also heard she likes like something along the lines of like she likes the power. She likes having a lot of power. So yeah, that's a big hit. Like I said, if it weren't for her ego, they really just could have literally worked this all out. It did not have to be this way. And then we had dirty offer, marrying for money. You guys watched the reading I did on Lemuel and Scotty, then you will know exactly what this means for dirty offer and marrying for money. It feels like Scotty was in it for the money, at least in the beginning. I feel like it was for the money and then for love. And then it turned into something completely different. And then the dirty offer, I felt like there was some picking and choosing as to who would carry his child, allegedly. I'm getting like alleged sugar daddy, sugar baby energy, at least for these two cards, the bottom two cards, dirty offer, marrying for money. And that is also just confirming why there's a rift between Scotty and Natalie. It seems like it's the same message over and over again. Her just getting pregnant and her getting this far with the CEO is really what caused the avalanche across the board. Anything else besides her pregnancy and her relationship that is causing the rift, aside from those, is there anything else besides that? Faced. Let's clarify this unveils card. Hooked. And then we have karmic friends, can't fully trust them, low-key competing with you. Y'all, I'm telling you, it's just giving me frenemy. It just keeps giving me like frenemy energy. And I just heard again, she's a friend to no one. An unfazed card. It's almost like the way Natalie can hook these girls in to working with her, she has to give them this feeling of safety, this feeling of comfort, of somewhat of a friendship, but still a business relationship, but enough for that so that they feel comfortable around her. Like, I'm not in competition with you. I just want to make money with you, but at the same time, I'm still your boss. And the lines can get blurred that way, but it's like that's something that it's a tactic she uses to make these women feel like they are friends, but in fact, they're not. And I feel like a lot of the ladies know that, but there are some that probably do value her friendship more than others, which Scott, I think, of course, fell into that trap. Because if you watch the show, you see Natalie like fight people, and she'll tell some of the girls like, "You saw me fight her. Why didn't you jump in?" And they're just like, "No," So yeah, that's just one way she tries to make sure that they feel comfortable enough to do things for her because she just wants to create that safety net for them. But really, she's their boss. It's like a fake sense of safety, a fake sense of friendship, I should say. All right, that's enough of the oracles. Let's move on to the tarot. All right, I'm not going to do them separately as to how they perceive one another, just because I do not want this to be a terribly long reading. To be honest, I just feel like whatever I'm going to pull is just going to continue to reconfirm the message. But I'm going to do just a general energetic exchange between the both of them, and then I'll ask the same questions as I did before. All right, so what is the current energy between Natalie and Scotty? Let's do the past and then the present. Past energy between Scotty and Natalie. So what is the past energy? And then we have Knight of Pentacles at the bottom. So for them, it's feeling like this past energy. They work very well together. They manifested a lot of her money together in whatever ways that they were doing that together. Slow and steady, but it was something that they were building, of course. Yeah, they made a lot of money together. I just heard OnlyFans. So, I mean, it could be a combination of baddies, but it could also be when Natalie had her OnlyFans. I don't know if she still has it, but I remember that floating around, as well as other things because I keep seeing hotel rooms, allegedly. So, yeah, in the past they made a lot of money together. Yeah, let me see what else. What else about the past? Yeah. And then we have Queen of Swords here, which is, to me, that represents Scotty because she is the air sign. And I feel like a lot of the money was made more for Scotty's side. Ooh, I don't know if I want to say that on camera, but yeah, it feels like Scotty made Natalie a lot of money. I'll put it that way. Whatever money that Scotty made, allegedly, I'll say, it feels like Natalie took a lot of that money up off of her. Giving me PIMP energy, y'all. Natalie like wanted a huge cut of what Scotty did most of the work for. In the past, this air sign was making her much more money than Natalie could have made on her own doing whatever they were doing. You know what y'all think down below about that, but that's what it feels like to me. I just heard her nose was wide open. If y'all know that old saying, usually that's for relationships, but I'm getting it's more so she was very green, like very green type of energy, if y'all know what that means. All right, present energy between the two of them. What is the current energy between the two of them presently? We have Eight of Cups. And then we have Nine of Wands, can't talk. And then we have the Fool here at the bottom. So this is interesting because Eight of Cups, yeah, walking away, and then we have Nine of Wands. So this is somebody like taking last stand energy, like fought the hard fight. So between the two of them, this feels more so for Scotty's energy, more so than Natalie, because it feels like Scotty was walking away or trying to walk away. It's like she's walking away because she's tired of the BS that they put her through, and she's coming out of it strong. Like, she's fought the hard battle. She literally had to fight to get to where she is today. We all know how that show goes and the drama, but we don't know what's behind the scenes. So it's almost like she's had to walk away from not only physical fights from the show, among other things, as well as everything that came along with it. She was able to stand her ground and get to where she is today, but not without bumps and bruises on her, because we also have the Fool here. So this was something she was taking a lot of risk on. But Nine of Wands to me is telling that she went through a lot, y'all, that we don't even know about. I just heard that T word. That T word allegedly, I don't know how much I can say on YouTube. Like I said it a couple times on the other videos, but you hearing like bumped and bruised, and yeah, like Scotty literally had to walk away from it. I feel like even though in my reading I did on her and Lemuel, it just feels like she didn't want to get pregnant, at least at the time when it happened. But it feels like that was a blessing for her because now she's not having to do that anymore, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. It doesn't even feel like she's really interested in baddies anymore, but there's also something here I'm feeling about money with her. If you guys remember that reading again, she was worried about her stability, so she may come back on to get the money, but having this child, though, isn't out for her, it feels like. All right, so what's the real problem between the two of them? What is the real problem between Natalie and Scotty? What is the real problem between the two? Whew. To To me, this is giving a lot of Natalie's energy because we have Five of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and it feels like more so the energy and money and time that Natalie invested, and I say in like literally spirit that word invested into Scotty, so that could be time, money, energy, anything, all of that she has invested into Scotty is a pain point for her, as we saw in the oracle cards. Again, it's like employee, boss, madam type of energy. I'm gonna say the word. I heard grooming is what I heard. So everything that she has put forth into Scotty is the real problem between the two of them, and Scotty's starting to realize that. And then we also have down at the bottom betrayal, so Ten of Swords. So feeling betrayed because you went and moved on, as well as got pregnant by my boss, even though I'm your boss, you know. So yeah, betrayal also on Scotty's end, because you say you're my friend, but you're over here talking about me on the internet and saying these malicious things about me. But at the end of the day, I just heard business is business. So Jerome is not happy with Natalie at all. Like I just heard they're not pleased, something like that. So that's why I said you better be careful how you treat pregnant women. They need to be very careful, or they will have spiritual, I don't really want to call it justice, nothing like that. You don't know who or what is watching and protecting Scotty and that baby. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But all this time, money, energy, effort, I just heard like spent money on luxury bags, luxury items on you, and you do this to me. One question that I am interested to see, that I'm gonna ask right now, is how does Lemuel feel about the beef between the two? Like, how does he feel about all of this stuff going on between them? Like, what is his energy around this entire situation? Yeah, you out there, be about to be. Y'all, he feels like he is stuck in between both of them. Like he's having to pick a side. If you guys look in this if you look in this Two of Pentacles card, look, we have a man literally sitting here picking between a family and a woman. The family being Scotty and his baby, and then we also have Natalie here. So he's having to feel like has to pick and choose. You know, he's trying to decide on picking a side. Also, I have Five of Pentacles at the bottom. So not only is he worried about how he's going to juggle between the two, and if he has to pick a side, but he's also worried about how this is going to affect his money as well, even the Baddies franchise. Like, is this going to affect viewership? Is this going to affect whether or not Natalie wants to continue working on the franchise as a whole? And it makes me, and I just got the visual of, if you guys watch Baddies, if you don't, you won't understand what I'm saying here. But on the very first or second episode, I think it was the first episode, he mentioned that they are looking, at least from a network perspective, they're looking to see who can fit Natalie's shoes, because they do want to find someone that can take on the leadership role, because she has other stuff happening. So with her taking a step back, and I think that, yeah, that did come up in the part one video, where she has a lot of burdens right now and she has a lot going on. So they're looking to find another CEO or something of that level, because she has a lot of other commitments, and she's also pursuing music as well. So for me, it's giving that he's now more than ever thinking about who's going to help take over Baddies and be somewhat of a boss like Natalie is currently on the show. Is there anything else that we can gather from how he feels about the situation, aside from having to juggle between the two? Anything else here for Lemuel? How he feels? All right, and then we have Six of Wands, and then we have Three of Pentacles here at the bottom. I just heard end game. I don't know what that means, but it's almost like he doesn't feel like this is going to end badly. Yes, he's worried about the money impacted, but it's not. It doesn't feel like he's really stressed about it. It feels like he thinks this is all going to be blow over. It feels like when the baby comes, and they're going to come out victorious. It feels like he's also just only worried about his child coming through healthy and safely. But I don't think it's too much about just Natalie in general. This is more so of, we'll be all right. Like this will all blow over soon. I'm just focused on having the baby. Yeah, and then Three of Pentacles, I want to point this out because he's still focused on work and collaboration. He's still going to work with Natalie as well, but I don't think he's really worried too much about the whole beef. If anything, it just feels like he's tired of hearing about it, and he feels like he has to pick a side. But either way, I'm not getting any cards that indicate like stress or he's having to step in or anything like that to defend Scotty, unfortunately. What is Natalie's hopes and fears for this situation? What is Natalie's hopes and fears for this entire situation? Work, yeah. How this baby is going to affect their work, meaning Baddies and Zeus, I guess, because we have the Empress here at the bottom. So that's literally a pregnant woman or a woman about to give birth, and that's Scotty in this case. So she's worried about how this baby is going to affect work for her. But it also could be like how she is worried about how Lemuel's going to treat her now that Scotty's going to have his baby. Scotty's going to be in our meetings now. We'll have to worry about her trying to make decisions on your behalf type of energy. So that is a fear for her. That's also probably why it's her being a CEO, and now Scotty's going to be the mother of her boss's child. What is that going to look like down the road? Is she going to take more priority over me and what I have going on? So yeah, her fear is just work and the impact it's going to have on her working relationship with Lemuel. All right, so what is Scotty's hopes and fears currently for this situation? Scotty's hopes and fears. We have Knight of Cups. Eight of Swords, and then we have Six of Cups. This is interesting because Scotty's fear is completely different from Natalie's. If you watched again, this is going back to the reading I did in part 2 with her and Lemuel, because I heard the word trapped in that reading for her. I believe her prediction. Maybe it was hopes and fears. I can't remember. But this Eight of Swords, I heard trapped again for her, because to me it's giving that when it comes to Natalie, she's worried about it feels like she's trapped by her past offers that she has taken because she has dealt with Natalie in the past, and things that she has done, leaps of faith she has taken with Natalie in the past. Again, Six of Cups. It's almost like she's worried that she's going to get exposed, or Natalie's going to try to rub this in her face of past things that she has done. It's almost like, as a parent who has made mistakes before they had children, and that could have been like serious mistakes, inappropriate mistakes that you may not want your child to know, is what I'm feeling for Scotty. Like, this is not the example I want to set for my child. It's almost like she doesn't want to be trapped by her past. It feels like in offers that she has taken for men, allegedly, but she does not want to continue, or at least she doesn't want to affect her as a mother. So it's a completely different fear from Natalie's. Hers is not work related. It feels like her is more mental, but it also pertaining to her child seeing everything that's on the internet in the future. And then also, if you're telling me to look closely at the Six of Cups and look as a parent with the child, like hers is literally just, I just don't want my baby to go through the same thing I went through. And I also don't want her to see my past on the internet. It feels like allegedly, and offers that I've had to take. But it just feels like very trapped by my past type of energy. Somebody waiting on pins and needles. She just doesn't want more stuff to get out online and in the public. And if you notice, when she's on Baddies or talking about the show, when they ask her about fights or they talk to her and she's like, this is very ghetto. I can't believe I did that. So yeah, I think she does have some, at least it feels like some type of regret around how she's acted in the past, when it comes to anything dealing with the network and things she's done behind the scenes. So, oh, okay. So that's the hopes and fears for both of them. So what is the prediction for the friendships? What is the prediction? What is the future prediction of the friendship or ex friendship? What do I want to call this? Prediction for their relationship. There we go. I'll call it their relationship. In the current energy of today, what is the future prediction of their relationship? Somebody is going to make them stop or try to mediate the situation for the greater good of the bag, it feels like, and opportunities. They don't want this to affect the network as a whole. I need you guys to be cordial for the greater good of the organization, allegedly. There's definitely going to be a new beginning between the both of them, because we have temperance here at the bottom. So they're going to have to figure out how to work together peacefully and amicably. I just heard that as well. So things don't get awkward and things don't get really rough. I don't see like drama or fighting type of energy, but it's almost like they're going to have to figure out a new way of working with one another, whether that be Scotty coming back to Baddies. Actually, I'm going to ask that. Is Scotty going to come back to Baddies? Let me go ahead and ask that now before I forget. Is Scotty going to come back to Baddies after her pregnancy? All right, we have Seven of Cups, and then we have a Nine of Swords here at the bottom, which is interesting because Seven of Cups reversed is like your vision getting clearer. You can see through the clouds. I'll say this, because Spirit is saying that once she has the baby, not the following season, because she has to give her body rest and to recover, but also she has to settle into mommy mode and figure out a routine for herself. But if you recall in part 2, I said that she has some I think Nine of Swords did come up in that reading, but I have to go back and look. But she has a clearer view of what she didn't like about the network. Like, it's almost like turning over a new leaf. Okay, there we go. It's like turning over a new leaf. She's seeing that she does not want to be portrayed a certain way anymore. But at the same time, she's worried about her financial stability as well with all of this. Like, I know her baby daddy is CEO of this network, but who's to say he's going to be giving her money? We don't know what that's going to look like. Things can change. He might be giving her as much money as she needs or using it against her. If you have not seen that video, go watch it, because I talk about all of that in there. But it's still that fear of financial stability and how I'm going to take care of my baby, diapers, milk. So I don't feel that she'll immediately go back on the show, but I do feel like in the current energy, depending on how things are with the money, her stability, how her relationship is with Lemuel, because like I said, things can change with relationship dynamics like that. She may consider going back on the show, y'all. I don't think it would be the following season, but the season after that, she might. She might. It's Nine of Swords is giving me just anxiety and worry about finances and stability for her child. Like, I'm seeing all the other mothers on the show, like Cole Killa, Tinka. Like, a lot of these ladies have kids already and they're on the show. And I'm just hearing like, if they can be on the show, she can be on the show too. I know she has her own show coming, documenting her pregnancy, but depending on how that goes, if it does pretty good, they may consider offering her like her own show. That could also be why Natalie really mad. but I feel like depending on how that show goes with her pregnancy, they may offer her her own solo show. But if not, if it does not do well, she may consider going back on there. It may not be like full time. It may just be like in passing, like as a friend, like as like how the Bad Girls Club comes on every now and then, just to kind of kick it with them. But I don't. I see that she would be back on there to some degree. It could be friend, it could be cameo or something like that. But yeah, I don't think she's completely done with that show specifically. I'll say that. All right. Well, honestly, y'all, like after reading this energy, I feel very sad. I feel very, very sad. And I think this is more of Scotty's energy. If y'all remember, I said at some point in the reading, I heard the word sensitive. Like she feels very sensitive right now. But it makes me really sad for her. It feels like that Beyonce reading I did where I said I feel like I want to cry. I feel like that for her. My heart goes out to her because I know she's pregnant and this is a lot to deal with. So and then having to deal with it also over the internet. And y'all know Zeus and Daddy's like the whole thing is messy in itself. So I just hope that she has a healthy and safe pregnancy and wishing her all the best. But that's all I have for today's reading, y'all. Hopefully, this video is not too long, but I appreciate you taking the time out to watch if you've gotten this far. And thank you for your support. I hope you have a beautiful day. And I will see you in the next video. Toodaloo.